Hansi Flick wanted to make it borderline impossible for Barcelona to effectively defend against Bayern's attacks. His goal was to render Barcelona's strength useless first, and then target the weak points in Barcelona's tactics, which he executed perfectly in this match. Let's briefly cover both teams' lineups before we explore how Bayern Munich handed Barcelona their worst defeat in their Champions League history. Both teams stuck with the same formations they used in their previous matches, so I'm genuinely surprised Setien didn't see this coming. Hansi Flick was essentially playing 4-2-4 against Chelsea, and he did the exact same thing in this match as well. By the way, when Barcelona press, they try to make their opponents' deep-lying players ineffective, disrupting their opponent's build-up. Considering Bayern had 4 players targeting space in behind Barcelona's midfield, it was vital that Barcelona's 4 midfielders maintain their shape as to not leave any gap for a pass. This gave Bayern's deep-lying players a bit more time and space on the ball, which goes a long way when building up. And so, right from the start, Barcelona's main objective when pressing became obsolete. Now, let's talk about the real damage done by Bayern's front 4. With Bayern playing 4 forwards, they were able to have everyone positioned in a way to form diamonds. This required all Barcelona players to basically remain static if they were to maintain their shape and not leave any gaps. Now, when you add movement to this system, it becomes borderline impossible to cover every Bayern forward. Didn't matter if it was a Barcelona player closing down an open Bayern player, or if it was a Bayern player dropping into a pocket of space. Notice how since De Jong thinks Alaba will pass to Gnabry, he leaves his position, but he ends up creating a gap big enough for a pass to Muller in behind. This theme was present throughout the match. Thiago occupies Suarez. So, when Goretzka drops, Busquets goes up with him. Gnabry being open drags De Jong towards him, widening the gap between him and Vidal, who was focused in maintaining his position. Boateng can then find Muller, who can easily find Gnabry as Lewandowski created space for him with his run. On top of that, the 4 forwards focused on staying inside. This occupied Barcelona's defense, forcing them to worry about Bayern's players in between the lines. Because of that, Bayern's fullbacks, particularly Davies, exploited the space on flanks with no pressure. Although Bayern were clearly too much for Barcelona when in possession, their first 2 goals of the match were a result of their tactics without the ball. So, let's go over how Bayern defended, as it not only earned them a couple of goals, but it also rendered Messi and Suarez useless for pretty much the whole game. Bayern's high line was extremely important, because it accomplished 2 important objectives. One of them was to incentivize runs in behind the defense. That was done because Messi and Suarez aren't that quick compared to the likes of Alaba and Davies. That, combined with Neuer's sweeper-keeper role, gave Hansi Flick enough confidence to play with an extraordinarily high line right from the start. The other objective was to limit the amount of space Barcelona forwards were afforded in between the lines. To accomplish this, Bayern's midfield line stayed unusually narrow. This meant that as long as Messi and Suarez stayed in the middle, they wouldn't be getting involved at all. And so Messi was forced to play deep and in wider areas far away from Bayern's defense. Basically, Bayern's main priority when defending was to keep Barcelona away from the middle of the pitch. That's why Hansi Flick wasn't bothered by Barcelona having space on the flanks. Perisic is staying inside to discourage Barcelona from finding teammates in midfield. This is because Bayern essentially trapped Barcelona whenever they opted to go on the flanks. Notice how as soon as Barcelona have the ball in right flank, Bayern condensed the pitch, making it difficult for Barcelona to switch to the other side. And then with Hansi Flick having Lewandowski stay near the far centre-back, Barcelona were unable to rotate possession on a regular basis, leading to them going long way too often. Bayern's narrow shape actually played a huge part in the build-up to Bayern's first goal, as Muller intercepts Busquets' pass by being so narrow. After Bayern moved quickly to exploit any space available, Perisic crosses to Müller, who links up with Lewandowski in a spectacular fashion to score Bayern's first goal of the match. A few minutes after that, Barcelona attempt to exploit Bayern's high line through Alba, who tries to find Suarez. Alba did well to get to the cross first, but mishits it into his own goal past Neuer, equalizing the score. After that goal, Barcelona showed some signs of adapting to Bayern's tactics, as they were able to create few decent chances. However, Bayern were still dominating every aspect of this game. To make matters worse for Barcelona, their counter-pressing wasn't anywhere as effective as Bayern's. On top of that, Messi was being more of a liability than an asset when defending, as he failed to assist his team's press on multiple occasions. And then, in the 20th minute, after Gnabry dispossesses Roberto near the final third, Bayern Munich finally take the lead through Perisic. Bayern continued to look for more as they kept getting into Barcelona's box. In the 27th minute, Bayern form a diamond near the edge of Barcelona's box. Busquets can't close Goretzka down as he's busy cutting passing lane to Lewandowski, while De Jong does the same to Gnabry. Goretzka's first touch pass to Gnabry was a thing of beauty, as Bayern got inside Barcelona's box yet again and manages to score this time. As soon as Barcelona resumed play after that goal, Bayern almost scored another right away. It didn't take them too long, as around the half-hour mark, Bayern Munich were able to score their fourth goal of the match. Barcelona kept on trying to exploit the high line, but apart from this, they weren't able to create any chances to get back into the game. Meanwhile, Bayern were gliding through Barcelona as they were determined to play great football. Going into the second half, Bayern remained unchanged while Barcelona replaced Roberto with Griezmann. That did allow Barcelona to move the ball better than they did in the first half, and they even managed to get a goal within 10 minutes in second half, thanks to Messi's vision as he finds Alba. The fullback then finds Suarez, who fakes Boateng to create some space before scoring Barcelona's second goal of the match. However, the goal didn't affect Bayern in any way, as Hansi Flick's tactics were still too much for Barcelona to handle. Notice how after Müller and Lewandowski drag their markers away, Goretzka spots the huge gap and tries to exploit it. Around the hour mark, Davies decides to take matter into his own hands, or rather feet, and single-handedly creates Bayern's fifth goal. Right after that goal, Setien replaced Busquets with Ansu Fati. This is when Barcelona started to mirror Bayern. Setien did this to stop the bleeding, but as we all know, it had little to no effect as Bayern continued to attack Barcelona's goal. With 15 minutes left in play, Hansi Flick wanted to spice things up and brought on Coutinho for Gnabry. Coutinho wasted no time and managed to create Bayern's sixth goal, finally getting Lewandowski on the scoresheet. Not even 3 minutes had passed before Lewandowski dispossessed Messi in a bad spot, and then sets up Coutinho, who scores Bayern's seventh goal of the match. This time coming from Barcelona's most expensive signing ever, who was sent out on a loan to Bayern Munich. To add insult to injury, Coutinho got on the scoresheet again just a few minutes later, scoring Bayern's eighth and final goal of the match. Let's just process this for a second. Barcelona's most expensive signing in their history is sent out on a loan to Bayern Munich, who ends up scoring not one but 2 goals against his parent club. This has to be the worst transfer in recent memory. I'd say this final score is a result of Bayern Munich being too good for Barcelona, rather than Barcelona being too poor. They weren't good enough, don't get me wrong, but Hansi Flick's tactics were on a whole different level, so I can sympathize with Barcelona. What do you think about the tactics used by Bayern Munich and Barcelona? Let us know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, share it with someone you know. It really helps. Follow me on social media, links in the description.